Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Fitzgerald Hyundai in Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We have it, and we have it first. This is the all-new, totally redesigned 2020 Hyundai Sonata. This one being a limited trim level, so that's your top trim level. Let's talk a little bit about Hyundai and Sonata history. So Hyundai's been around since 1986, if you could believe that, here in the United States, selling cars. The first car they ever sold was the Excel. You could have it hatchback, you can have it sedan. Boy, oh boy, have things changed, because they have a lineup now of many different vehicles that are definitely bringing the heat to the competition in all the different segments that they compete in. Now, the Sonata goes up primarily against the Honda Accord, Mazda 6, Nissan Altima, and of course, that Toyota Camry. What's wonderful is for 2020, Hyundai decided to go a little bit more bold, like they did back in 2011. 2011, they produced a Sonata that just blew people's minds, and people were flocking to the different dealerships to purchase one. Now, the generation following, which is the generation that's going bye-bye for 2019, things got a little bland. But I promise you, with this new 2020 Sonata, they have brought it big, and they've brought it in a big way. So let's go ahead and dive into the all-new 2020 Hyundai Sonata. Off the bat, one thing you're gonna notice is all new headlight design. Now, I do have the engine on, so I apologize for any noise coming from the fan, but I had to show you the daytime running lamps. New headlight design, the housing, everything inside is LED. I like the way it's all blacked out. It's got like a jewel design similar to Acura, but what it has that no other manufacturer has is something that Hyundai's calling hidden lighting lamps. If you notice, you got bright white daytime running lamp LEDs. They curve in the bottom, and then look at this. It actually goes into the molding of the car, the trim that goes down the belt line. This is all lit up, and then this is where it stops and transitions to regular shiny chrome trim. That to me is something totally fascinating. Never seen anything like it, and I think at night it's going to give such a unique look to it that you know for sure miles and miles away it's going to be a Sonata. Now, as we work our way down from the headlight housing, look at the fine detail, all the sharp lines in this upper section coming down at an angle, and now we have some venting. Now, the side curtains are functional. This, I'm zonking, this is all fake. I wish they would have done something a little different, maybe smoothed it out, not gave it a vent design. Same story down here. Why so much fake venting? Just leave it smooth. I like the direction though that they're going. As we come across the front, another thing you're gonna notice, look at how the hood slopes down to the front fascia. No longer is the front fascia half of that hood area. It comes all the way down, very sharp angle, large, wide opening, probably the largest opening grille area of any Hyundai currently made. Some people, including me, are saying it's a little Aston Martin look to it. It really does stand out. Gloss black, forward-facing camera. I do like this lower lip spoiler that goes all the way across the bottom. It's gonna be interesting though how this gloss black wears over time. Let's go up onto the hood. Nice creases here, gives it a raised section right in the middle, solid all the way to the windshield there. So I'm glad that it didn't fade away, gives it nice personality. We come around the bend, like I said, hidden lighting lamps, and then this is your chrome trim that's gonna go down the belt line. We drop down, all new style wheel, 18-inch wheel, 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall. I'm liking it. You have nice machined aluminum, the gunmetal gray, even the fine detail to this center cap. Very, very nice touch. Another thing that's pretty cool is they have color matching side vents, and this is functional. So that's a nice look. This though, I'm zonking this yellow reflector. Why is that there? Look how much nicer that looks. Take this, put it into that headlight housing or something, or just get rid of it altogether. I know it's DOT approved, so they tried their best. As we go, notice the design starts down here, comes all the way around the fender. Nice touch. It makes you say, hey, they really thought about this design when they were coming up with it. I like the shape of the side mirrors. Glad they took that Calypso red. That's the color, name of this color, Calypso red. LED lighting. You do have cameras in the housings, and I'll show you the reason why once we get inside. Limited has a full panoramic sunroof, and guess what? They painted the parts of the roof that are not glass to make it all blend in chrome trim all the way around top and bottom. Little bit of chrome spilled onto the door handles with some of that Calypso red. And then check out the side sill extension. Very, very aggressive for a standard family size sedan. Now what's fascinating is, guess what? They are gonna come out with an N version of this car. That to me sounds fun. And we'll bring it to you here on Rady's Rides, I promise you that. That belt line, top portion, the bottom portion comes all the way to the rear fender. Nice sharp angle, gives it a nice flared level to that rear fender look. We come around to the back. This is going to be a sore spot, I know, for some people. You do have these vortex generators. I understand why they're here. As air comes off that low sloping roof line, they're trying to cool out the turbulence. I get it. Kind of looks a little funky. I do like the way the trunk has a nice curve to it. And if you notice, look at the crease here. Very, very sharp angle. It actually makes it look like a really crazy kick-up spoiler, but it's just got a nice kick-up to it. You can see the exhaust. It's only single, so I'm gonna zonk that. On a limited trim, I wanna see my exhaust on both sides. I do like the split design, gives it a distinctive look. This is all gonna light up at night, which is very nice. It's all LED lit. And to tie in the front with the back, they did bring a lot of gloss black, even on this rear diffuser area. But from front to back, definitely a cohesive design. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what's powering this all-new Sonata. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on this 2020 Sonata. Now, it's gonna surprise you. It's actually a smaller engine displacement than the outgoing Sonata Limited with less horsepower, but I'll get to that in a second. Let me tell you about this engine. 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, inline 4, 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. It's all going through an 8-speed automatic transmission, so thank you, Hyundai. No CVT transmissions in this car. It weighs 3,328 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 7.3 seconds, quarter mile in 15.6 at 90 miles an hour, and a top speed of around 135 miles an hour. Now, the good news is, compared to last year's engine, a little bit better fuel economy, 28 in the city, 37 on the highway. Let's talk a little bit about this engine. So the outgoing engine was a 2-liter inline 4 turbocharged engine, had something like 245 horsepower. But here's the crazy thing. Acceleration time is basically the same. The good news is there's more engine options that are going to be coming for the different trim levels for the Sonata. More power, especially that N version, which I'm really chomping at the bit to get my hands on. What's great about the engine compartment, I like the way they stripped it of all the plastic covers. Not much plastic covers. You can see all the inner bits, the alternator, all those great things, the AC compressor down there. That's what I like being a car enthusiast, is being able to see those things. But let's go ahead, fire up this Sonata and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Sonata. Unbelievable what they have done from last year. Because like I said, last year it was a great car, but a lot of people felt it was a little bland, that whole generation that ended for 2019. If you're wondering, well, Joe, this car looks so much better. It seems like it has more. It's got to be way more than the 2019 Sonata. The great news is when you're comparing limited trim to limited trim, this is only about $800 more than the other one. That gives an MSRP right around $34,000. Let's see what you get. To the door panels. Thank you, Hyundai, for breaking up the colors, for bringing some nice materials. So you have some beautiful tan, works great with the Calypso red. I love that silver trim, how it integrates right into the handle to open up the door. This one has the optional Bose sound system. A little bit of silver around the tweeter. Wishing that they would have brought some silver trim around the larger speaker cover, but it is a Bose sound system, and you do have a large pocket down there for drinks, maybe an abacus, a map, maybe some Twinkies. I know a lot of you like storing your Twinkies in the door panel, so easy to get to. Beautiful material. Love the fit and finish, the stitch work. This is where the magic is. 10-inch infotainment system screen, obviously horizontal display, obviously has navigation. You could go real quick. You can set up your 3 screens, which is really nice. Let me go ahead and lower that. We could get our weather and whatnot. It's got the full swipe features just like in the past. with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So clear, so crisp. And if you're wondering, well, it's that iPad style, does it look really cheap and flimsy? No, it doesn't. They integrate it very nicely. Look at how they took the trim all the way around it. Wonderful. We come down, still soft material. I like the silver start-stop button. Even the AC vents, they really put the time and detail into every part. This lower section has your dual climate control. What's great is that there's just a little bit of gloss black, and you really shouldn't be hitting it very much. You do have heated seats and ventilated seats, which is really nice. You keep working your way down. Look at this little command center. Wireless cell phone charging, 2 USBs and a 12 volt. All together, nice and easy to get to. This is going to control that 8-speed automatic transmission, push button transmission. Now, I am going to zonk it because there's quite a bit of gloss black here. I wish they would have kept this area gloss black and made this like an aluminum trim, or this design here. It's a nice material, gives it a little bit of feel rather than just regular plastic. This is a little bit harder, so it's soft here, it's harder on the edges. 2 cup holders. I want to show you something. So here's the new key fob. It's got some new features. Remote start is not new. What is new though, and I'll show you this in a little bit, is the parking feature. If you're in a tight spot, you can actually move the car in and out of a spot without you even being in it. There's the back of it. The Hyundai logo is covered up with all this shipping tape and stuff. And then this right here is your key. You could actually use this, get rid of the fob, and just have this in your pocket to start the car and open up the doors. And I'll show you that in a second too. But 2 cup holders. You do have a drive mode selector button. You got different camera views that you could do as well, which is really nice. Your different safety features. Armrest is still on the hard side, but it does feel really nice with the stitching. Open it up and you have plenty of room for about, I would say, 12 Twinkies. If you stood them up, you could get them in that center console very easily. Seats, they look like they're out of some German or Italian car. I love the perforated center. Of course, you're gonna get full electric, which is really wonderful, and they move on the quicker side. Heated and ventilated, panoramic sunroof, and I'm 6 feet tall and I got plenty of room in here, which is wonderful. Come on over though, I want to show you behind the wheel of this 2020 Sonata. All right guys, business time in the new Sonata. Let me open that door all the way. You do have 2 memory settings for the driver. I really like the nice tan material that they have here, just breaks it up nicely. Here's all the seat controls, lower lumbar, real easy to position in the slide. Steering wheel. The look of it is going to be a zonk for me. I don't like this lower crossover bar, and the horn button sort of looks a little alienish. But other than that, they have the thickness down. I love the stitch work. You do get paddles to go up and down that 8-speed automatic transmission. Also, let me show you this. Look at how they put fine detail into the ends of the stalks of both the turn signal and the windshield wiper stalk as well. And then feast your eyes on that beauty. You are looking at a 12.3-inch LED display. You got tons of information you could go through. You can see the center there. So well done. Hold on a second, but watch this. We're going to do the turn signals. So we put on the left turn signal. There's our camera. For the left, we have the door open, obviously, and there's the right. That is available only on the limited trim. Another nice thing, check out the modes. Sport. Hold on, let me clear this out here. We got sport. We got custom. Keep going. We got smart. If you're feeling smart one day, you got your degree, and then normal. But who the heck wants to be normal? Nobody wants that. I'm gonna put in the sport because that just looks killer. Nice touch, looking great in a car that doesn't cost $50, $60, $70, $80, $90,000. But overall, seat support feels good. Let's go ahead and check out the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna love the all-new 2020 Sonata. All right, guys, back seat time. Like I said, this car is competing against the Accord, the Camry, the Altima, and the Mazda 3, plus some others in there, but I'm trying to keep them at the, roundabout price point. Plenty of room back here. My only zonk is I don't personally like the backs of the seats being plastic. If it was all tan leather, it'd be nice, but if you have kids, I get it. They put their boogers on things, and this would be a lot easier to clean. You have 2 AC vents. I am zonking this though, only 1 USB. On the limited trim, there should be 2 USBs here, not just 1, so that's a zonk. But the amount of space you have is great. You know me and the cargo nets, it just feels cheap. So I'm gonna zonk that as well. Armrest though, let's check it out. Nicely padded, 2 cup holders, which is great. Plenty of headroom. I was a little concerned because from outside, this thing has a really sharp sloping roof. but I'm telling you, there's plenty of headroom in here. Let's go ahead though, let's check out the trunk and see how much space you have in the Sonata. All right guys, time to get into the trunk of the new 2020 Sonata. Now, how do we do that? The cool thing is, you just look for the button right in the emblem, opens right up. Look at all that room, nice large opening. Those seats will do the 60-40 split. And if you're wondering, well, what is the amount of room back here? You're looking at 16 cubic feet of space. The great news is we picked this up, you do get a spare. So they don't tell you, say a prayer, here's a can of Flat Fix, see if you'll make it home. They give you a spare setup, which is great, which you're not seeing very often on cars anymore. But before we take this for a spin, I want to show you some of the special features of this Sonata when it comes to parking situations. All right guys, we've all been there. You're at the grocery store, you're at the mall, some jerk decided to park so close to you, they couldn't just stay within the lines of their own parking spot, that you are now stuck and you're trapped. Well, guess what? Hyundai has a solution for that, and it all happens with the remote. So I hit the remote start. You can see the car is now on. It's letting you know that it's on by flashing the lights. I want to get in my spot. Watch this. You hit the button that is P with forward, and the car is gonna move forward. Nobody's inside it. I'm clearly outside. Now we have enough room. You could get in. You release the button and it stops. Here's the best part. Watch this. I'm gonna push the button again. I'm gonna stand in front of it. Will Joe Rady from Rady's Rides meet his demise? I will meet my maker because of a Sonata. Here we go. Let's find out. So I'm gonna hold down the button. Car releases the emergency brake. It's moving towards me. I hope it's gonna stop. Car tried to avoid me, could not, and then stopped. Now I'm gonna move out of the way and watch this. We want the car to go back in reverse. You could do that. So if you have a tight spot you need to fit into, the car will also do that as well, without anybody inside. And it actually stops because the sensors around the car, the 360 perimeter sensors, is saying that, listen, that car is too close. And that's why that person was a jerk and you had to use this special feature. Here's another feature. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shut the car off. Using the remote start, car is off. Now watch this, I'm gonna lock it. Car's locked. This card is a key. So you could leave this at home technically and just use this card. Watch this, we come over. I wanna get in, door is locked. We take that, door is unlocked. That's what I call Sonata magic. That's what I call wonderful. But since we showed you all of this, let's get to the best part. I thought this was the best part. Let's go ahead and take this for a spin. All right guys, we're in the 2020 Sonata. This one's the limited with the 1.6 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. I'm gonna first adjust my mirror, which I should have done before I pulled out, but let me do a little acceleration test since nobody is behind us. On throttle. The great news is it's getting traction down to the ground. 0 to 60, like I mentioned earlier, is about 7.3 seconds. Not slow, not fast, in that sweet spot. And like I mentioned earlier, there are gonna be other engine options, especially the N trim to the Sonata. Looking out over the hood, looks great. Visibility is awesome. I got a nice heads-up display, clear, in a great line of sight. I'm really digging in this particular limited that we're driving, the different colors of trim. You got the tan with the grayish blackish color of the rest of the car. Really kind of breaks up the sea of just blandness in here. This 12.3 inch LED display is clear as a whistle. I love when you turn on the turn signals and you get that nice bird's eye camera view from your side mirror right on the dash. Really well done. And that infotainment system, it's perfect. The screen size is great. I don't want it any bigger. I don't want it any smaller. And it's perfectly placed. Very smart that they went simple on the gloss black. That's where I think the Camry doesn't really do it for me on the interiors. All this gloss black, just a little bit, just fine. Dual climate control works great. It's a little hot out right now. And I also think that they did the seat controls very well. You just push down to get ventilated seats, and you push up to get heated seats. It doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need 5 switches. You don't need to go into different modes and everything else. The only thing, like I said, zonk worthy in here is going to be the steering wheel. Not really the best looking wheel in my opinion, especially the horn button in this lower bar. And then there's a little bit too much gloss black in the center console area, especially where you're going to be pushing your fingers. Now, the good news is if you hit your target, then you're fine. If you don't, then you're going to get fingerprints everywhere, and that's probably just going to frustrate you, and you'll have to clean it. God forbid you spend some time cleaning your car. But overall, though, very high level of feel, fit, and finish. Quiet inside, not a lot of wind noise. Let's go ahead and see how the brakes work. On the brakes, turn it in. Nice. Not a bunch of body roll. I'm going to go ahead and put it into sport mode. That's going to adjust the parameters of how the engine produces power, the weight of the steering, how the transmission shifts. I'm going to go ahead and do another acceleration test real quick here. Left foot brake on throttle. So in sport mode, I actually broke traction a little bit. That shows you how that power delivery is going to be. Not a ton of turbo lag, just a smidge. And yes, this could do for more horsepower. If they make an N version with about 300 horsepower, wow. 350 horsepower, wow, wow. So I'm very curious to see what Hyundai's gonna do in this direction, but boy, oh boy, you know, we saw it at the New York Auto Show. It happened to be the same Calypso red color as this one. Looked great, looks even better in person outside, and especially with the two-tone color interior, very, very nice. Great weight to the steering wheel, perfect thickness, visibility out that back glass. If you thought just because it came down at an angle and it was terrible, no, it's actually really, really good. Of course, you're gonna get all your safety features, emergency braking, lane keep assist, and all that on throttle. Transmission is buttery smooth. I believe it can't be butter. That's what it feels like in this thing. So smooth, and for a turbocharged engine, it's relatively pretty linear with the power delivery. Nice little grumble coming from the engine. It doesn't sound like a little tiny Ford banger trying to squeeze 100 horsepower and it's, you know, revving at 7,000 RPM. It's got a nice feel to it, and just the way the car drives, they've really done their homework. And I'm telling you, if this is what they keep producing, they're just gonna keep moving up and up and up and up, and that spells big trouble for a lot of the other auto manufacturers competing against them. Remember, we're talking about the Mazda 6, Nissan Altima, Toyota Camry, and Honda Accord are the main competition to this vehicle. Of course, the Optima, the Kia Optima from its sister brand, would be going up against this. And of course, you have your German cars and everything else. I'm not trying to say those don't exist. I'm just talking about the main popular competitors. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the new Sonata is about. We're gonna get back to Fitzgerald Hyundai and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a fantastic time with this 2020 Sonata. I definitely gotta thank Rob and the rest of the crew here at Fitzgerald Hyundai. It's really showing that, listen, Hyundai is here, and they are here for the long haul, and they are ready to bring it in a big way when it comes to style, when it comes to value, and everything in between. But if these are the types of cars that you want to see on Ready to Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready to Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ready to Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner. He's loving the Sonata. It's blowing his mind as well. Thank you, Tom, for getting it all on film for everybody. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.